Okay. Comet,
Yes.
Vincent,
Present.
sorry, somebody's coming in. Okay, Perry,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Klein,
Present.
Duber. Okay,
All right. I will make a motion to appoint Alan Charnas to fill the vacant position on Orange Village Council for the term expiring December 31st, 2021. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Judd. Is there any comments on this, or do we go right to roll? Right to roll, Anna?
yes,
Okay.
unless, okay. Comet,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
All right, can we do the oath of office now?
Yeah, I think we're going to do that.
So that Alan can vote now?
Yep.
Welcome back, Mr. Charnas.
Thank you. Good to be back. Good to
Raise
see
your right hand and
everybody.
repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Alan Charnas,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the rules, regulations, and charter of Orange Village,
the rules, regulation, and charter of Orange Village,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
honestly, and impartially
honestly, and impartially
discharge my duties
discharge my duties
as councilman of Orange Village, State of Ohio,
as councilman of Orange Village, State of Ohio,
during my continuance in said office.
during my continuance in said office.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations. Photo op.
Take a screenshot.
She probably
Yeah.
is.
Congratulations, Alan. Welcome back. I think we all look
Thank you.
forward to working with you.
Thank you. Steve, I do have a question. I know on the agenda it says expiring on December 31st. I know having been in this position before, I think it only goes though through the next election till the next meeting, right? Because based on the last time when you fill the expired seat, doesn't it only take place until after
No, this is an
November?
expiring term.
Well,
so
you are right. If you were before the 2-year mark of,
Okay.
so because we're past 2 years into the term, you filled the entire term. But
Okay.
the last time, you are exactly right. When you fill the term before the 2-year period, then you're only there until the next election.
Okay. Thank you.
It doesn't come up too much.
All right, great.
right.
Moving on, we have Anthony Fiorino on the call. He's the manager of the Orange branch of the Cuyahoga County Library. I believe he wanted to say a few words about the issue that is going to be on the ballot coming up here in a few weeks. Anthony?
I do. Thanks, Brent, for letting me talk in council. So yeah, we're going to be on the ballot in November. It's issue 70. It's a 1 mil continuing levy request, and it'll cost residents a little less than $3 per $100,000 of home value. It's estimated to generate $18 million annually. We need the funding because 12 years ago was the last time we passed a levy. Since then, local revenue from local property taxes has decreased about 14%. This funding will enable us to continue to operate our 27 branches, preserve our evening and weekend hours, which we've just come to full hours in the past few weeks, make necessary safety and security updates, sustain a robust materials collection, and maintain other critical service like after-school help and training for job seekers. If it fails, which I don't think it will, cuts to open hours are likely, closing some evenings and weekends at said branches, reductions in virtual services, deferred or discontinued maintenance projects, reduced budgets, of the collection, which would increase waiting times and scaling back services for students, job seekers, and others. We're always looking for volunteers. I'm sure you've seen issue 70 signs in yards. I passed those out about a week ago in the rain. I've got more in my trunk, so if anybody wants signs, I'm going to put my personal email in the chat and just shoot me off an email and I'll drop a sign off. And if you want to learn more information about the levy, you can go to our website, cuyahoga-library.org/issue 70. Thank you.
Anthony, did you say this is a renewal or is it a new levy?
So it's just continuing.
Continue. Okay.
Anthony, we don't have chat on this. Do you want to just say what your email is?
Yeah, so it's my name, Anthony Farino @hotmail.com.
Anthony, F-U-R-I-N-O.
Yep.
Or if you give me a call at the library, I always do shady trunk deals on breaks.
The
So
police
there's
chief is
nothing.
on this meeting, so watch it.
All right. Thank you very much, Anthony. Hope
Thank you.
hope the issue passes, certainly.
Appreciate it.
Moving on, I will make a motion to approve the special council meeting minutes of September 2nd, 2020. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Stacy. Any questions or comments on these? Everything look all right on them?
Yeah, everything looks okay.
Okay. Anna, can you call roll?
Is anybody else having problems where people are going in and out, or is it just me, my computer? Must be me.
A little bit.
Okay.
Me too, but he hasn't said so much that it was a challenge yet.
Okay. Comment,
Yes.
Charnes,
Abstain.
Vincent.
Yes.
See, did she say something? Because I didn't hear her.
She said
She
yes.
said yes.
Dang it. All right, I'm going to have to, Perry,
Abstain.
Silver,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Is that everybody?
yeah.
Oh,
do
sorry
this
about
one.
that.
That's okay.
I will make a motion to approve the council meeting minutes of September 9th, 2020. Is there a second on that?
Second.
I'll second it.
I think I heard Judd first.
Mhm.
Any questions or comments on these? All right, Anna, can you call roll?
Comment,
Yes.
Charnes,
Abstain.
Vincent,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Excuse me, Stacy, could you take a screenshot so we have Fiorino's picture there?
oh, that's a good one. Klein,
I need a
I
mask.
thought you were done, I'm sorry.
Yes, yes.
I wasn't done, Klein. Yes,
sorry.
thank you. Yeah, okay.
All right, thank you. I'll make a motion to approve the special council meeting minutes of September 22nd, 2020. This was for the interviews for the open council position. Is there a second on this?
Seconded.
Second it.
I think I heard Stacy. Any questions on this? Comments? All right, Anna, can you call roll?
Comment,
Yes.
Charnes,
Abstain.
Vincent,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Moving on, number 8, I will make a motion to authorize the expenditure not to exceed $29,292 to Finally Fire for the purchase of extrication equipment, spreaders, cutters, and a strong arm tool. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Judd.
I'd like to ask Chief Wilson to step up and tell everyone.
Yes, this is to replace our, basically it's called the Jaws of Life. We got our last set in 1991, I believe. So this set will be replacing that. It has a higher tensile strength to cut the new cars with. And it consists of a spreader, a cutter, and a device called a strong arm that we're able to put into small areas and open things up. We will be able to sell our old set. I can't tell you for how much, probably not much because they are so old. But we started this process back in January and we got a little slowed up by COVID. We had 4 companies come out. We narrowed it down to 2. And then we tested all the equipment. All the guys tested it, I believe, on 3 different occasions. And we came up with the Hearst tool from Finley Fire.
I'd like to confirm that this was a budgeted and covered item in this year's budget. And it made the cut when we went through and eliminated, prioritized, I should say, but this made the cut as a necessary and covered item. Everything you see tonight falls in that category.
Yeah.
Chief, how many sets do we have total?
That's just one set.
One set for the whole department, okay.
Correct.
I didn't know if each truck had one.
The fire and safety forces of our village need our support for all the equipment and services that they provide. This equipment is essential for the safety of our community, and I would encourage that we support and pay for it.
Thank you, Mr. Klein.
Thank you.
Any other comments? All right, Anna, would you please call roll?
Ahmed,
Yes.
Charnas,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
How could you say anything but?
It'd be weird if you said no on that one.
That was good. I could abstain.
That would be weird too.
All right, number
Well,
9.
Anthony Farino brings his picture back. That would be weird.
Yeah. I will make a motion to authorize the expenditure not to exceed $22,682 to Finley Fire for the purchase of 11 sets of turnout gear, coats, pants, and suspenders. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Stacy.
Chief
Wilson?
Wilson?
Yes, so this is actually in next year's budget that hasn't been approved yet. But if we are able to order it after we approve the budget before the end of the year, we can save at a minimum 12% of that cost, which is basically a whole nother set of gear. So I'm just asking that after you pass the budget, if we could go ahead and place that order before the end of the year. It will not show up at the village until probably March or April. That's how long it takes because each individual has to be measured separately. And a set of turnout consists of, in this case, a coat, a pair of pants, and a set of suspenders.
And how many are we replacing and how many years is it going to take us to get
So
them?
this
of a
one is
decent
11.
age?
This one's 11 sets. The turnout gear is good per NFPA for 10 years. We are on a 3-year buying program. We bought 25 this year. We're going to get 25 next year, and we'll finish it out in 2022, and everybody will be in compliance then.
Did you say how old our sets are? I didn't.
Oh, they go anywhere from 1999 for like a brand new guy just to give them gear up until we just got gear this year. So they're all sporadic in there. All the gear that we are replacing with this 11 sets would be over 10 years old.
Did you say we buy 25 each year, each of the last couple of years?
Can you repeat that? 2 people were talking.
I'm sorry. Did you say we bought 25 last year and 25 this year?
When I say 25, I meant $25,000 worth.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So 25,000 is in the budget. The turnout gear itself is 22,000, and then I'll go back and buy helmets and a pair of boots for each guy, and that'll complete their whole set.
So Brent, in order to replace them all, we've been doing it in a 3-year cycle, spending 25,000 each year.
I thought he meant 25 sets, and I sounded like a
Yeah,
lot.
we don't
Yeah,
have
right.
But we
So
do have to
far-
have at least, we like to have 50 sets at least.
Well,
Chief?
each guy has their own set, and now once we replace them, they'll have a spare set, but that set will actually be out of compliance. It'll be older than 10 years, but in a pinch, they can wear it if their gear gets wet or needs to go in for repair or something of that nature.
Will we have any extra sets that doesn't have a person assigned to it at the end of our 3 years?
Yes. Yes.
A couple,
Not-
right?
Yeah, not of new gear, but of gear that's out of date that we still use if somebody needs a set.
Okay, but every person there will have a new set at the end of 3 years.
Correct.
And this is year 2 or year 3?
This will be, 2021 will be year 2.
So
And
this is
Bob,
your-
are you saying that the 2021 price would have been 25, and if we do it now, it'll be 22?
Yeah, well, it would be 22. So if we order it after the first of the year, they're saying the price is going up a minimum of 12%. So instead of
So
22,
It would be
682,
25,
something, yeah.
and then you'd still have to purchase helmets. So instead of paying 25, we'd be at 28 or something for.
Correct.
We'll be paying for it in the right budget year. We just want to be able to order it before the price goes up.
I
That was
just
my
need to
question.
order it by
Okay.
by December 30th is when I need to order it.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
Again, this
Will
is
there-
another,
Chief
this is
Wilson?
another,
Will there be any extra sets once this is all, the cycle is completed?
Yes, we'll have extra sets. Each guy will have an extra set. Like I said, that set will be
No,
older
but
than 10 years.
beyond the extra set for each firefighter.
Yeah, there'll probably be roughly 5 to 7 extra sets that we have up on a shelf.
as we
Yeah,
hire new
So those
people.
are for when council people decide we'll go on a
Correct.
fire adventure with you.
And
We don't
did
want to give
Chief-
you the new stuff.
Chief, did you say they're fit to the firefighter themselves? So what happens if we replace and we have different size firefighters? They can't
Well, that-
use?
Yeah, that's what we do now. We try to find someone who's close to that fit. So yeah,
Part of
if
the
you're
hiring
38
requirements.
sometimes it is. When we have a big set of gear, we got to hire a big guy. No, I'm just kidding. That's not how it works. But yeah, we have to try to fit what we have to the guys that we hire, and then eventually they will get a new set once we make sure that they pan out and they stick around.
Okay.
And having a few extra new ones is a good idea so that, because we're always hiring a couple new ones every year.
All right, Anna, will you call roll, please?
Oh, can I just say one last thing? This is an item that did make the rounds to our final draft administrative budget. We haven't finalized yet, but this made it past all the cuts, and therefore it is covered and anticipated in next year's expenses.
Okay,
Anna?
all righty. Comment,
Yes.
Charnes,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moving on, I will make a motion to authorize the expenditure not to exceed $35,000 to Wilhelm Roofing for the replacement of a portion of the roof in the fire department. Is there a second?
Second.
I
Okay, I'm
heard-
gonna
Klein,
ask Terry Goldhammer to describe I don't see him here anymore.
yeah, he's there. He's there, I see him.
I don't.
You're on
gonna
your
have
iPad.
I'm gonna have him no, I'm not. I'm gonna have him
Oh.
describe the conditions of the roof and all that. But this is one of those items that was on that multi-page list of things we anticipated, knew were coming, we're trying to get ahead of. This is one we can absorb, but this is, Terry, are you here? Can you talk about how old the roof is and what, it leaks in the fire department when they
Yes,
come to work?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, I can
Yeah.
see you even.
Okay, as the mayor's correct, Bob and I have been keeping a close eye on the roof, the entire roof of the municipal center. It's original. It's been repaired several times. The only part that's not original is the part under the cupola under the back, above the back door. The flat roof over the fire department has been repaired numerous times. Recently, within the last year or two, probably at least 4 or 5 times. The last good storm we had over Labor Day, we saw another leak, and I believe it was just a few days ago we had a heavy rain and we developed more leaks. So the roof is original. We were planning on replacing it next year, but what's happening now and the amount of leaks that we're having, it needs to be done now.
Let me just add to that, Bob Zugan, we have put as a priority in next year's budget, a new roof. Bob's been talking about this for a number of years, and this was one of the big items on the let's save so we can do these projects. This is one of them, and Bob does have it on the budget for next year. It's $250,000, which is not a small item. But this, he said, absolutely cannot wait. And there's nothing we'd be doing now if we do this now, so that the firemen aren't rained on. And next year, like, we're not duplicating anything. Is that right, Terry?
Correct. Correct. The roof that would be done next year is the pitched roof, the shingled roof, not the flat. This is the flat roof.
So we need it.
Did you say, I know you said it's the original roof. Did you say what the year was or when it was?
1995,
1995.
25 years.
So I have a question. I don't know, based on this price, do we have to approve? Because I noticed that the wet insulation, it covers 15%. If they have to replace the rest of the insulation at 85%, that's another $3,500. Do we have to approve the amount, including that $3,500, or do we include the 31? But what if they find we need all the insulation? And
The amount that Bob has asked for is $35,000. He's included an additional contingency
Yeah.
number over and above what Wilhelm Roofing is asking for, in case, for the wet insulation. There may
Just
be
for
some
that.
some other issues we may run into. One of those is unfortunately, the new air conditioning unit that we just had installed on the roof. They may have to disconnect the lines to that to re-roof around those lines, and then they have to hook them back up and recharge the system. So there'll be an additional cost for that. And then and there could be more wet insulation, of course, that they could run into. So that's the reason for the $35,000.
The contingency.
Right, correct.
All right, any other comments or questions? All right, Anna, can you take roll?
Okay. Sorry. Multitask. Comment,
Yes.
Charnes,
yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Klein.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Are there any audience comments related to agenda items? Okay, there is no old business. Moving on to new business. Ordinance 2020-16, ordinance amending codified ordinances of Orange Village to vest the authority to approve amending landscape features, fences, walls, and driveways in the building commissioner and replacing certain ordinances. This is a first reading. I believe it will be referred to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Judd, any comments on this, Judd?
I'd be happy to comment on it, at least to advise everyone as to what we're doing and what the process is. One of the things that we have found that is that we have a lot of landscape plans that are required by code, and
For new houses.
for new houses, and they have come to the Planning Commission, and as a result, they take a lot more time on the Planning Commission agenda than they necessarily need to, and they could be handled administratively with a set of requirements included when people come in for the landscape plan application and approval. So what this does basically is allows the building department to have on staff the availability of the landscape architect to review the plans, much the same as the village architect reviews the building plans prior to their coming to Planning Commission. Where there may be a need for them to come to Planning Commission because of some specific issue that's identified in the review, then they would be referred back to Planning Commission. The process will include the promulgation of regulations, standards, and criteria for submission of landscape plans for the village, and that will enable our landscape architect to efficiently and timely review the submissions.
I intend to use the landscape architect that we have on our board, Kathy Moran. Our residents will be charged a $100 fee for this service and for this necessity, this review. I understand that other boards charge $300 in this community, some homeowner associations to review those plans. I think it's a fairer way to go, and I think it's a better way to go. So we hope we'll have your support to allow that, like we've done with decks, like we've done with fences, let it go through an administrative process. There's nothing planning and zoning adds to the mix.
I have a question. Is there an appeal process?
Yeah, to planning and zoning like Judd just described.
Yes.
Okay.
A question, just from having sat in on the planning and zoning. First of all, Kathy is phenomenal at what she does. But I'm just wondering.
Kathy Moran, oh, sorry, I was, for a second, I thought she was talking about me.
And you as well. But yeah, Kathy's phenomenal at the landscaping. I'm just wondering, how does that change her role on planning and zoning, or does this?
Not at all.
So she'll still
Right, Steve?
zoning as well as being the architect as well.
That's right.
Good question.
That's
The village's charter requires that a member of the architectural review board includes 2 professional licensed architects or landscape architects to sit on the board. And Kathy will fulfill that role as a licensed professional landscape architect.
Yeah, but
along with-
Stacy's question is very good, and she's right, because there's a lot of things you can't do 2 roles in.
Right.
Steve, is this one of those?
No, she's doing, it is not prohibited by law. She
Okay,
is
because like Brent Silver can't serve on the Records Retention Commission anymore because he's.
correct, because there's a charter provision that prohibits a council member from serving in other public office. The architect board members, advisors don't have that problem. Board members don't have that problem.
In addition to her professional credentials, and Judd can speak much better about that, this would be somebody, it doesn't have to be the same person, but the benefit is the continuity. She knows what we want. She knows what we're looking for. She can report back to the board. So there's a lot of efficiencies in having it be the same person, but it doesn't necessarily have to be in the future.
Yeah, and in the future, it might not necessarily be the same person, because we may go back if for some reason we need to have another licensed architect, not landscape architect, because there isn't one available, then we still need to have that person in place in the administration.
So is this contractually obligated for a certain amount of time, or it's just as long as?
Whenever we send it to her, if we send it to her, she's engaged, and if we don't send her a plan, she's not working.
Got it.
So
And
I
the
think,
funds
I
are
think
paid,
this
and the
is,
fee is paid for out of the applicant's deposits.
so I wasn't privy to this, but I think it's a great idea to streamline, obviously. I have a question though, in the ordinance, what is the difference between, it looks like it's almost repetitive, 1148.11 and 1150.06? What's the difference in those 2 different sections?
Steve, do you want me to answer that question?
Sure, go
I
ahead.
asked him the same way. So it pertains to 2 different types of zoning. It needs to be the same because we're changing it for both. It is a U2, correct?
It's actually U1 and U1A.
UNA.
Did Stacy already call Steve about that?
Yep.
Good, because I was reading, I'm like, God, that's a lot of, a lot of the same information, so.
Yes.
It-
2 zoning districts.
Thank you.
So this has been now referred back to planning and zoning, right, Brent?
Correct. That is
Mr.
correct.
Silver, Council Pro Tem, thank you.
That is correct, yes. Any other questions, comments on that? Okay, moving on, Resolution 2020-6. This is a resolution urging the Village of Woodmere to accept grant funds totaling $265,000 earmarked for sidewalks or pedestrian trails to support the extension of sidewalks from Orange Village onto Sugarland Boulevard in Woodmere Village.
I will second that.
So this is essentially,
Go ahead.
I didn't make a motion. This is essentially.
I'm ready.
We talked about it last month. I know the funds are there for Woodmere to act on this, so this is just urging them to do so. I mean, it doesn't, a resolution like this, it doesn't do anything us passing it doesn't actually do anything. It's more ceremonial, but I think it's a ceremonial in that it encourages something that will be good for our community and for
A
Woodmere as
message, a
well.
strong message that Mayor Hobart
Premium
appreciates.
message.
I have a statement I'd like to make about this since I was one of the originators of this resolution. We recognize that wellness, convenience, recreational enjoyment, and above all, safety are hallmarks for the quality of life for residents of our community and are of paramount concern for us. I have to believe that those objectives would be of the utmost importance to Woodmere residents and council members as well. The safety and welfare of Orange Village residents who regularly shuttle to Chagrin Boulevard for all Woodmere has to offer are at risk against vehicular traffic when required to amble into the roadway entering Woodmere North. We also know that the security and wellness of our neighbor village residents and those walking even from Pepper Pike and other locales who wish to head southbound on Brainerd Road to our wonderful Pinecrest development or merely to exercise by walking along the extended trails should not be jeopardized by traversing the high amount of vehicular traffic heading southbound on Brainerd Road coming from Chagrin. We have seen firsthand the benefits of our wonderful Orange Village trails and know how grateful our residents are to have them. I know that the sense of rapport and community between our neighboring villages would only be enhanced by the continuation of the trails / sidewalks into Woodmere. Community collaboration, after all, is literally and figuratively a two-way street. Let's make that two-way street safe and accessible for all of our residents of both Orange Village and Woodmere. I ask that you approve this resolution and that Woodmere Council members approve their ordinance to extend the sidewalks from the Orange Village trails into Woodmere expeditiously for the greater good and sense of community benefit for all. It just makes sense. And I'd also like to add that Council President Duber asked me to share his support for this resolution as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Any questions on this? Do you have an update, Mayor Kathy, on where it stands with Woodmere?
Well, they have a vote on it, I guess, next Wednesday. That's sort of the engineer's estimate of when it becomes too late for them to be able to get it done under the provisions of the grant and meet the requirements. I can just say that in the last couple of days, I've communicated with Mayor Hobart, and he is very thankful to this council for doing this,
Okay,
for weighing in.
good. I will make a motion to approve this resolution. Is there a second?
You have my second.
Thank you, Stacy. Anna, can you take roll?
Ahmet,
Yes.
Charnas,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Carrie,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Klein.
Enthusiastically, yes.
All right, thank you. Resolution
No adverbs while voting, please.
Yeah.
No adverbs?
In planning and zoning, we call that a hard yes.
Okay. How about adjectives?
No adjectives either. No modifiers.
Just
All right,
grand
moving on. Are there any audience comments relating to matters which advance the good of the village? Okay, moving on to comments by the mayor. Mayor Kathy?
Okay, I do have a few comments tonight. Sometimes, and when I see people in the village, they've often asked me, what it is I like about serving in the village. And one of my standard answers is about the impact you can have on a small community. You can come up with an idea, you can think of an idea, and then you can actually see it implemented. Some committees I served on, the lifespan or the incubation period for a project would be decades, and it just wasn't satisfying to not see the culmination of the efforts. So I always recommend residents give me ideas, and sometimes they happen. And this was one where she's not even a resident anymore. Just like Mr. Bilski, who no longer lives in Orange, but I still get lots of good information from him. His sister-in-law, Melissa, who moved out of Orange, contacted me with an idea about Halloween. It started me thinking and bounced it off the department heads. And they were all very supportive and wanting to give our community something a little special this year. So many people are affected by the coronavirus and the rules and what to do, what not to do. So we decided that though we don't encourage we can't stop it. There will be trick or treat. We've designated the hours and the day. We recommend that our residents don't go in large groups. We recommend that anyone taking candy and handing out candy wear a preventative mask, and all the usual standard things. But we know there's many children who won't be allowed to go trick-or-treating, and we would love very much to give them something special to smile about. So with cooperation of the fire department, police department, and service department, we are offering to our residents a safety force treat parade. And it was in the e-news yesterday, and we'll have it out in other forms of notifications. But basically, during a designated time period, have your child dressed in a costume, standing at the end of the driveway. If you're on a trail, at the trail, have a parent with you if you're young and to protect your safety, and we will drive by, sort of a reverse trick-or-treating safety parade. So we look forward to that. We hope it's nice weather. If it's not nice weather, there is no rain date. It's canceled, and we'll have lots of candy to eat. For anyone who does miss the parade, any little child who came out too late or for whatever reason, we do have a time and a place where they can come by and get their bag too. Right, yesterday in the e-news, it became necessary to put out a notice to the community that while it happens almost every election, we all know this year is a little more wound up and a little more intense than usual. It is a theft. It is a crime to steal or remove or take somebody's political signs, no matter whose side you're on and no matter whose sign you're taking. And because of that, we put out a warning because too much of it is going on in our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
So we ask our residents again to please be a good neighbor, report any suspicious activity to the Orange Village Police Department. I began doing weekly code red phone notifications, and with Anna's support, help, and efforts, we also were doing weekly electronic newsletters starting in March when the stay-at-home orders were put into place. So I want everyone to know we are still here. I will be putting out something and giving my residents my phone number because I don't even get to do meet the mayor anymore. But the village is still here to try to accommodate those who are lonely and isolated, and we have an Orange Cares Call program. I am not disappearing. We're just going to every other week unless there's something we need to say in between. And we will let everyone know about the Orange Cares program, which did pick up during the coronavirus. There will be in-person voting for those people voting in person at Village Hall. When the Board of Elections reserved our Village Hall for the election in November, they assured me that the rules were everyone must wear a mask and that anyone that won't wear a mask will be accommodated by curbside voting. And under those terms, I was satisfied to have the election take place in our building. It's convenient for our residents. They're used to it. Sometime after I announced to our residents that voting is going to be in Village Hall, I was on a conference call where the Board of Elections Director clarified or further discussed and basically said, if somebody insists on coming in and they want curbside, they get to. We cannot stop somebody from voting. So that was very upsetting to me, but for the convenience of our residents, we are going to have voting at Village Hall. Our employees, our daytime staff that works in the administrative offices that are usually there to help any resident will be working 4 10-hour days and taking election day off. I will not subject them to anybody who cannot follow our rule of wearing a mask. And so there's that.
Mayor, will the Board of Elections be marking like a, 6 feet distance markers, or do we have to do that? Or
No, they claim they will. They'll supply they'll supply the PPE. They'll supply the signs. They'll supply the social distancing marks. That's all supposed to be up to them. But so was enforcing mask wearing, and they sort of backed off from that too. So
Do we still
we're
have,
not going to have workers there.
do we still have a lot of extra masks from when we offered them to residents?
Yeah, and I guess I could announce that did we pick them up from the Chinese church, Chief Wilson? We also were donated another 1,000 masks from the Chinese church on Emery Road, so we're in good shape. I think Chief Wilson is looking, no, he's just getting a drink of water. Okay, so, okay. Gives me the high five if I'm not saying anything wrong. So we do have even 1,000 more. Mhm.
Just, I know that you said they'd be providing the PPE, but maybe it's good to, have some of those handy too in case people need them.
We sure will, but they said they are. The deadline for the census went back and forth. It was going to be the end of the October. Then the president said, no, we don't want to have so many days to count. So we're going to end October 5th. And that went to court. Then it went back to October 31st. And then Wilbur Ross said, I don't care what the court says. I'm still going to do it till October 5th. And the court overruled that again. You now have till October 31st to fill out your census. Please get it done. It matters. Everyone counts. One of the things I was doing with some of you new council people, if you recall, we were doing some rollout tours of the police department, the service department, the fire department. We didn't get to all of them. We sure want to pick up and get back to that when we can. But
Yeah, we
part
should.
of that, huh?
We should do that.
But part of that was our preparation and running through with you a program that we have talked about, unfortunately did not put into place before the pandemic took over. So we'll get back to when we can. We are going to be expanding that open house to our residents, have coffee with the chiefs and come in. And I mean, we'll always welcome to do this and we always encourage our residents to do it, but we will make it an official program. And we don't have to talk about that too much because I think it's many, many months away before we are meeting in person at all. Lastly, I know things are charged. Believe me, I'm just as wound up as the next person. This e-news, this letter that I got, I hope you have the same reaction I had. It's really galling, and I don't mind publicly saying to whoever wrote this to me, you sound ridiculous. Let me read this to you. Dear Mayor Mulcahy, our group of residents would like you to personally correct the following problem related to the 3 children statue that was just replaced in front of Village Hall. During the present racism situation, it is only fair and highly recommended that at least one child figure be painted white ASAP. It is not, why aren't I seeing all the smiles on everyone's face? I mean, this just made me grimace. It is not just Black Lives Matter. The figures should represent all children. Black lives matter, white lives matter, all lives matter. If this correction cannot be immediately corrected, this statue should be completely removed. I am not removing the statue. They are not white, black, red, green, purple. They are bronze, and bronze lives matter too. So that's silly, and that's the kind of thing that we probably someday should have community-wide conversations about. That's one of the things I'd be happy if they didn't identify themselves, it was anonymous, but we gotta get some of this crap out of the systems. Talk about it and get some of this out, because that is just a vile letter. And that's the end of my report.
Let's hope it was just an attempt at humor there, a bad attempt. But...
No, because it's not the first time. I have had other people call and comment on the color of the children and this and that, and it's.
Oh, wow.
You said the letter was anonymous, though? They didn't sign their name to it?
They sent it in an envelope with no return address and nobody signed it, but they claim they're a group of residents. Our residents, on the most part, are a little bit more open-minded, I believe, than that.
Very cowardly to send that and not sign your name to it.
It's obnoxious.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Mayor.
I'm sorry I did that, Mayor.
What?
I'm sorry I did that.
Good to know.
Comments by council members and committee reports. Let's start with Ms. Perry.
Okay, hi, everybody. Finance Committee members are planning on meeting the first Wednesday in November to look at the budget. That could be, I know, just calm down. That could be postponed to the following week. But traditionally when we do that, we invite council members to join our finance meeting, which is usually scheduled for an hour. We are beginning that meeting on the first Wednesday or the second Wednesday at 6:15 to 7:15. and then we'll go straight into our
Council.
council meeting. Thank you. Right after that.
May I
So
take
it's
the
an,
Can I just take the opportunity while Lisa just invited everyone on council, since I have the department heads or the department representatives, you are, this is the meeting you attend as well.
yeah, it'd be great. Thank you. And it's an opportunity for new council people to look at the budget, formulate your questions, concerns, looking at the big picture. The mayor and her committee, her department heads really focus on the minutia of these reports. So it's always a interesting process. This year is going to be a little bit different than most because we will be scaling back the budget pretty significantly from previous years.
If I could just modify what Lisa said, yes, we are. She's right in everything she said. But the difference is those reserves we were building up, those wish list items, all those many ways we were talking about spending money, we just went from a 4 or 5 year ability to I don't know when. Our operations will be fine. The villages can manage day to day, but a lot of those longer term things are pushed back.
And
Sorry, Lisa.
I'm glad you added that. And compared to other communities, we're seeing very minor setbacks. And because we have planned so carefully for so many years for a rainy day, here we are in our rainy day. We're about $350,000 behind, which we expect to get a little bit bigger before the end of the year. But not terrible compared to what I actually thought we were going to be seeing when COVID hit at the beginning of the year. So we're fortunate that we have the reserves. We can use them. I can't believe I'm saying that because I'm the person who's always every year, right, Mayor? Absolutely, we're not
Did you hear that,
touching
Dana? That
reserves.
changes a lot of things.
Mhm.
I was following the Perry rule. Good to hear.
Good.
The
Thank
first
you.
pandemic since you've been on council, Lisa. So
It is, and hopefully the last. That's the end of my report. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Comet?
No comments.
Okay. Mr. Charnas?
So I didn't think I would be back here, but thrilled to be back after some time off and many months removed from the campaign. And I couldn't be more happy to be serving with the council that's currently here, with the administration and the department heads. As I've said all along, either through the campaign and the interviews, it makes the job of council so much easier to know that if you serve, that we have such a great administration and such fantastic department heads that you really, as a village, everything runs so smoothly. So I know there's going to be a lot of opportunities coming out of the pandemic. I look at them as opportunities, not challenges, and not problems. I think there's great opportunities for Orange Village, and I can't wait to be a part of that. As the mayor said in her opening, why did I choose to serve again? And you can make a difference. Small community. I realize that. I think my time spent on council, my time campaigning, only serves to make me a better council person this time around, even from my last time. So I look forward to seeing all the department heads again. Maybe Steve Byron will give me another civics lesson at a lunch when it's available again. And again, looking forward to working with all of you. So glad to be back.
Glad to have you. Thank you. Mr. Klein.
Well, first of all, I want to welcome back Alan. It's great to have you back on council. Your steady leadership in your last term was really welcome, and look forward to continuing to work with you in the future. Couple things I wanted to bring up. I want to thank everybody on council for their support of the Save Our Stages letter that I sent out on behalf of the Cuyahoga Arts and Culture caucus that went to both Senators Brown and Portman. As a result of that letter, or at least I hope as a result of that letter, both signed on as co-sponsors for the Save Our Stages legislation in Congress, and I'm hopeful that that will move forward as a result more quickly. I do want to bring up another item that I I don't know, Anna, did you get the letter that I forwarded to you? Oh my God. Can you forward that letter to the council members?
I will. I think I forgot.
Can we talk about it tomorrow, next week, Judd?
Yeah, we can talk about it next week. I just want to bring it up. I sent you another letter for support for another initiative on the part of the Cuyahoga Arts and Culture Caucus to advance some support from the county for the from the CARES Act funds that could be made available to the arts community. And Anna will send you around that letter. We can talk about it next Wednesday and hopefully get your endorsement for that so I can push that forward in the near future. Another thing, not as a negative thing, please don't take it this way, but the other day I was getting up onto the highway and noticed one of our officers was up checking speeds on the highway. And this is something that I've expressed a great deal of concern about over the years. I really think it's very dangerous for our officers to be up there. My concern is for them and their safety. We've had numerous occasions where officers have been seriously injured in doing that on the highway. I know there are times that they need to be up there for real safety reasons, but I think that we could at least diminish the risk by not having the need for someone to be up there to check speed on the highway. It's just something I'm concerned about because I don't want to see our officers injured through that activity. And quite honestly, I've talked to other officers in other communities to try to, not because I don't want to see them controlling traffic, but because I'm concerned about their safety and security. And it's important that we perhaps discourage that activity to the extent possible. I know on occasion they do go up when they've completed their appointed rounds and that they have time to go do something. I just think I'd rather see them do something else. Their lives matter and are important to us as a community. They keep us safe and protected, and we need to preserve them to the extent that we can. And by exposing them to the vagaries of bad drivers on the interstate, I think they could just as soon avoid that. And that concludes my report.
Why don't you tell them how many houses we approved last night?
Oh, I forgot about our planning commission met last night. That's my whole purpose here. Planning commission met last night and approved plans for 3 new houses in the Orange Lake community. There are many more coming. There are several on the docket for the next planning commission meeting. There were some other items, including a lot split and consolidation for a parcel on in the Lakes of Orange. And planning commission has been, I think, very diligent about working with the developer and the builders for expanding that set of homes that are in our community. It's growing very, very rapidly. And now that concludes my report.
Thank you, Judd. I have a question regarding your comments on the police. Does anyone know how much revenue we generate on a yearly basis from speeding tickets, roughly?
We do. I don't know. Castura, do you have that off the top of your head? I don't know it off the top of my head. I know what we budget for it.
Yeah, Dana can probably at least give us an idea of what we budgeted for. This
We
year.
usually budget about 80,000,
Yeah.
but this
Give or
was a light year.
Oh, big time.
80,000. Wow. Okay.
Judd, I got a question about if every lot was built on in the Lakes of Orange, how many total lots are there?
150.
Yeah, she jumped the gun. 100, not 150.
Oh, were you asking Judd? I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
The mayor can answer that. She knows.
It started with 156, but they moved the lots around a little bit.
And they've consolidated a couple of them to make the plan work better.
Oh, Judd, there's
Yeah.
going to be 49 more because of phase 7.
Well, yeah, but that has that's being, isn't
That's part of Lakes of Orange.
Yeah.
So
It'll be about 200
199.
it'll be about 200 altogether when it's all said and done.
All right, thanks.
Dana's
Okay.
got an answer.
For the mayor's court, there was 80,000 in the budget, and through August, we had collected just under 43,000, so about 53% of what we had budgeted.
Okay.
Not as bad as I would have guessed.
All right. Thank you. Ms. Vincent.
I will try and keep this short. I know everybody wants to go watch the next debate, which is coming up shortly. First of all, welcome back to Alan Charnas. Glad to have you, and I look forward to serving and working with you in the months ahead. I also want to take a moment just to thank all of the wonderful residents who took the time to meet with us and share their insights about our fantastic town. I encourage anyone who watches this or is listening, as we told everybody to, stay in touch and keep watching the meetings and come. I just want to encourage them to get involved in the community and I'm just so proud to be among so many residents who want to give back to our community. I think it's a wonderful thing. I also want to thank our mayor and safety forces for devising a plan for and creating a treat parade for Halloween to bring the faces of our neighborhood children. I think it'll be wonderful, rain or shine. Quick school.
If it's rain, we might not.
It's still a wonderful idea, regardless of even if it happens. It's just nice that they're considering doing that. So thank you. School report as of this moment, Orange schools will resume in a hybrid plan on October 19th, barring any major county color changes. Lots and lots of information is available on the school website. I won't go into it. You can go to the school website, and I think we're linked to it too. So you can go to our Orange Village site and check it out. And also the school superintendent and principals will be holding another live Q&A via Zoom on Thursday evening. Watch it live stream, or you can join the Zoom call if you wish to ask a question. Also, OCR planning they usually have their trunk or treat event, and obviously that's going to be a little different this year, but they're going to do a drive-in Halloween movie. So if you want more details on that, that's also available on the OCER website. Brent and I don't know if feel free to chime in, Brent, we're continuing to work diligently on our now titled Orange for the Holidays project. We anticipate from the calls we've made so far about 35 to 45 businesses participating, including many at Pinecrest and others throughout Orange Village. It's a big project. If anybody wants to help out in that, just let me know, and we will definitely find ways for you to help out in that. And we hope to have a plan in place in the next couple of weeks. Our goal is still to provide a of some sort to residents for free around Thanksgiving. Like I said, it's still in the works. We're still working out the details, but we hope to move forward with that. I also want to do a shout out to Jesse at Fairmount Properties at Pinecrest for helping us out with this too. And that is all I have for tonight. I yield the Zoom room to our President Pro Temp. Great job, Brent Silver.
Thank you. Stacey, do you have a few minutes after the call? Can I call you to discuss some of the details?
Sure,
okay.
absolutely.
Call. I don't have anything. Mayor, you may as well cancel the Halloween parade now because it has rained literally every single year.
It snowed. It snows sometimes too.
Probably one year was a hurricane canceled it. So I don't have anything. I think that's all we have there. I will make a motion to adjourn the special council meeting of October 7th, 2020. Is there a second? Thank you, Stacy. Do we need to take roll, Anna, or do we just kind of end it? Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See you.
Next
You want to call me? Or do you want to-
Hollywood Square.
I'll call you.